What's up, YouTube? We're gonna do a book review today. It's your boy Reemus, and today we are looking at Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent's book, Hustle Harder and Hustle Smarter. And I like this cover straight away. By the way, if you're the type you don't like spoilers, I don't know, maybe you won't like this, but it's gonna be almost like a Amazon book review. When you go on Amazon and you see people say, hey, I like this, I don't like this, whatever, I'm just going to quickly kind of summarize it for people who may be interested and just talk about what's in it, as well as, a couple stuff that I actually took for myself. Because on this channel, I'm going to make it about the journey towards knowledge of self, strength, and power. And this is one of the books that might help you onto that journey. So what I liked about this book is that even in the title Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, it shows you the two ways or the two things that you're going to need if you want to excel in absolutely anything. But 50 Cent is a character. Curtis Jackson is another. It's almost like the real person behind the character. 50 Cent is the animalistic, primal instinct to push, to compete, to do well, to destroy the competition, to put all of that creative energy out there. But Curtis Jackson is the intellect and the brains behind it. And unlike a lot of rappers come up and they will maybe stay there at a certain level, or they will fall off. It usually happens. 50 Cent has stayed up there because he's been more than just creative energy. He's been intellect and strategy behind it. Like, you could say he's a genius. He is. I gotta give him props. Give me a second. I got hay fever. It's not COVID, so I hate this stuff. You're trying to talk and you just can't keep going. But that energy and that thing of having energy and having intellect behind it can be applied to everything. And this book is made for the average person. It's not just made for the businessman who wants to be, a multi-millionaire. He's made it for he's made it like a personal development book that is told through his stories, but in an interesting philosophy or breakdown that's almost similar to Robert Greene's books. So in each chapter, there's a focus. The first chapter, I believe, is about fear. The second one is about having the heart of a hustler. The third one is constructing your crew, which means leadership. Number 4, knowing your value, self-worth, self-esteem, speaking up, being heard. This hay fever, man. The chapter 5, evolve or die. So that's adapting. Chapter 6, power of perception. Chapter 7, if we can't be friends, basically, at least can we be enemies, because there's still some value and merit to that. Chapter 8, learning from your losses. There are no losses, they're lessons. So he says learning from your L's. Number 9, the entitlement trap. I think this is you could say it's a must read for 50 Cent fans, but it's also very good for people who, I'm a believer that you should want to be entertained, but if you're going to get entertainment, do it in something that's going to also give you inspiration or education. And there's a lot of inspiration that you can take from this book. So I got notes here, so I'm reading it. It tells the story of 50 Cent's life from beginning to current as a journey, and it makes it an interesting story. He often links his mindset to the corporate world for the average person, as I've just kind of said. It makes him relatable, and you kind of see his human side more. So when I say he links his mindset to the corporate world, in each chapter he would say something about, for example, knowing your value. Then he would, for you, even if you're just a 9 to 5 person working a regular job, he will say something like, when you're in the boardroom, make sure that you are heard, because another person who has less value than you could speak up more, and the boss would just look at that guy like, oh, he's on it. And one of the stories he uses is one of his old colleagues. I don't think he put his name in it. One of his old colleagues, he set up a boardroom meeting with his colleague and these executives or something, and he was expecting his colleague to speak up more, but his colleague just kind of stayed silent. And in his head he was thinking, but yo, you actually got knowledge, like you got something to bring to the table, why are you not speaking? And then it dawned on him that it was a confidence issue. So even if he had all the value in the world, it didn't matter because he wasn't able to communicate it. He didn't have the confidence, the self-belief to say, hey, I'm going to speak up, even if it means speaking up over another couple people. I want to be heard because my message has to be heard. I think this is good for the regular person. As I said, it's good for 50 Cent's fans because he shares his losses. He talks about, he grew up without his parents. The struggles and the physiotherapy he went through after being shot. His manager, I think it was his manager. Hold on. Oh my God. His manager, Chris Lighty, he died, and he talks about how he had to deal with that. And, he says, hey, I'm still dealing with this stuff. So he's quite transparent and candid. He talks about the troubles that he had with G Unit. Trying to lead Lloyd Banks, trying to lead, Tony Yayo and Young Buck and these guys. And there was another one in the crew, and they went on a tour one time, and I can't remember, what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember his name, but he got into a fight with one of the tour managers, and he had to 50 Cent had to kick out that crew member because he had to make a show of display of leadership, because it's like, if you don't listen to what I'm telling you, the other people will do that. I have to show them I'm serious. So you're seeing the intellect, the strategy behind him masterminding his empire. And he tried to get Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo and all of that. He tried to get them on the same thing, but he had to just accept some people don't have it in them. Some people don't have it in them. And this is something that's so relatable. Even me, I relate to that sometimes, because I'd be trying to motivate people who really don't care about the lesson, or they'll hear and they'll go, yeah, that's good. And then after, they will take nothing from it. But I think this is a good book for people who are from the hood or people who aren't into books, because it's like, you'll get the personal development, that value that you could get from books. But those people from the hood might not want to, they might not want to watch it, read it. But at least if it's 50 Cent, they'll be more willing to. So yeah, regular stuff that are in other personal development books, like stuff on hard work, focus, vision boards, all of that stuff you can kind of get from other non-fiction personal development books. But it's 50 Cent, so it just makes it more interesting. But what does separate him and other books is that he used very interesting, unique stories. Stuff that I even think of myself. Like, he tells the story of Honda. The actual car company, the name of it is after a man. That man in the World War II, he was out here trying to create the Honda company. And before that, he was working for Toyota. I think he either got let go or he quit to make Honda. But the stuff he went through to make his own thing inspires me. Like, I actually think about that. I'm like, yeah, if Honda went through that, 2 of his factories got destroyed and he still was creating stuff. He went through this amount of troubles. I can't quit. So he does use interesting stories. He has an album called Animal Ambition, but this book almost reminds me of that album, where he's bringing out that animalistic desire to keep eating, defend yourself, attack the enemy. It's like he's taking primal instincts to win and coupling it with the professionalism of the corporate world, and I think that will be of value to a lot of people. He uses stories from people in his own network, such as Robert Greene. He knows Deepak Chopra, and he speaks to these people and learns from them. So he brings the stories into the book. Again, more value. He includes scientific facts and even psychological tips in the book. So things like to do with body language, talking softly and slowly. Maybe I got to practice that a bit myself, because that draws people into your world. It shows that you're very confident. Acting like you don't need a deal. That's something he says. Don't think too eager. Like, don't be too eager to get something, because then you're gonna tell them that really is like, maybe you're not even worth it and it's too lucky for you to get it. So overall, I'm gonna say it's a good book. I liked it a lot. I'll definitely recommend it. And if you want more book reviews, make sure you subscribe. Peace.